cheery music makes dual sight feel like a much better map than I feel that it is.
I don't like dual sight either.
Our Terran player on the right side here, down a game, looking very tired. He is
MarineKing Prime.
We didn't trick our producer that time.
Oh.
Do you want to do this intro?
Oh, okay. I'll try. Let me try. All right. Over here, we do have the blue Terran. He is a very handsome guy whose name happens to be... Oh, they messed it up. See, Wolf? That's how you do it, man.
I guess so.
Right now, the producer's shaking their fist at the...
That was pretty funny. I enjoyed that.
All right. I'm glad that you did.
Well, MarineKing, I think on this map, may go back, take a step back here, go for a one barracks expand. This is a map where there is a lot more dead space, though, for Banshee play. He is going for a normal barracks timing at the start. And
both players are, in fact.
This map is a map where I feel like, even though it's not necessarily the best build for it, it's a map where a lot of Terrans one racks expand in TBT.
Yeah.
Do you get that feeling too?
I do. I feel like this is definitely a map that you can play much more technically. I prefer to see some of the... I mean, if someone's going for, a one racks expand into like 3 racks or something, I don't like that on this map especially.
Yeah.
I feel like this map, if you go like a Banshee into Siege Tank Marine push, that's going to be really hard to solve. And of course, you know, you can just do Banshee expands here relatively easily.
Very true. You know, it's weird that the players like to do this one racks expand here because there's just so many different potential opportunities with the Banshee play. And this is a very Korean mindset, again, as I was talking about earlier, is they love the one racks expand because they feel like it's the best build. It's the one that most people practice. And this is a mindset a lot of Koreans have with a lot of builds in certain matchups. They just love to say, well, this is the best way no matter what. I practice it so much, it's going to be good against anything because I've prepared for everything.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the way StarCraft actually ends up being at the end of the day is, well, the best macro builds are the best builds. That's just the way it is. And there's other stuff can be used and needs to be used and should be used. But
the idea of I can defend anything is an idea that is a bold one to have, but if you have it and you actually play those macro games and you do defend everything, then yeah, of course it is the best build.
Well, the thing is, maybe if you play perfectly and know what they're doing, then yeah, you can defend it, but there's always going to be someone who can sneak you up and trick you. And
has MarineKing scouted at all here, or is he playing in the dark? I believe he's playing in the dark. Yeah,
he's playing in the dark so far.
I like that MarineKing, when he does play in the dark, though, does do the double gas afterwards to get that faster factory. Something that TaeJa has not done here. He did get just the one gas. However, TaeJa built his barracks on the low ground after seeing what his opponent was doing. That's another liberty that MarineKing does not have because he doesn't know what his opponent is doing. He doesn't feel as comfortable. And when you're down a game, you have to build on the high ground if you don't know what your opponent's doing.
Exactly. And, you know, that's going to give TaeJa a slight edge, whereas MarineKing is just going to, you know, blindly go about this. But, again, his build is going to be unbelievably tight. And he's just sending out his first scout now. But, again, another thing TaeJa can do is take the watchtowers due to his scouting.
Yep.
Which gives even more scouting. Scouting upon scouting upon scouting.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
Think about that.
Scouting begot scouting.
Wise words.
Add-on complete.
I think so.
Both players going into 2 barracks here. MarineKing, of course, with the faster factory he got from those 2 gases he took earlier, and both going for combat shields right away. This is a very similar way for both players to move into the mid-game here. And I'm not sure what we're going to see from MarineKing here in this game. He's getting an engineering bay a little bit late. He's still a little bit in the dark.
I think that what we're going to see is a little push-out timing by MarineKing with combat shields. And probably, I mean, with the timing of that engineering bay, I think he's lining up Stim with +1 and getting some medevacs and just doing like a huge Marine push. That's what it's feeling like to me right this second. But actually, no, he's getting the tech lab on the factory. Oh, could he be going for a similar push as we saw him do on Daybreak?
I think that's what we're going to see.
Yeah, it looks like it, whereas TaeJa, on the other hand, got a really quick eBay here. Yeah. So he's going to have +1 attack
but a really
when
late,
this is hitting.
A really late tech from him. His factory is just now finishing up.
Well, he's going to have to use basically just Marines to hold this, and he actually got combat shields first this time, which would have helped out a lot in the STC's case against MarineKing when he did this build on Daybreak.
Very true. And this, the way this is going to work out for MarineKing is he's going to have to execute it really well, and I'm not sure if he's in the right state of mind for this. It's going to be really stressful for him.
Yeah.
To try to do a build like this, and I'm a little bit concerned for him, to be honest.
You know, I haven't seen this build go up against this variation of TaeJa's build. Obviously, this is something kind of new in TVT, but I'm looking at it, and I'm trying to figure it out, and I feel like TaeJa should be able to take this as far as build orders go. I'm not saying he'll win the game necessarily, but I feel like the build of MarineKing, when he comes down to do this push, I have to give the edge to TaeJa's build.
I think so.
The stim is going to finish at the same time, and TaeJa's going to have medevacs out.
Yeah. MarineKing's powering up 2 additional barracks, indicating that he very much so wants to commit to this. He does not have plans for a third base. This is a map, it's a pretty tough map to take a third base on, but even so, he's really, really committing to this, getting those extra barracks, stopping siege tank production temporarily here.
So it's definitely not the exact same build as before, but he has gotten these quick siege tanks. No siege mode yet. Looks like he's just going to line that up with his push timing. So when we see that start, he basically wants to reach TaeJa's base around the time that it finishes.
Basically,
and,
what the only thing he's saying, what he's saying with this siege mode is the only reason I'm using this is to attack you. I'm not using it to defend. I want to power up my barracks. I don't even want to spend 100 minerals on that siege tank tech. Are those 2 reactors? Yeah, they are.
Yeah. So he's really doing a one base move once again. So this is an interesting build by him. TaeJa, on the other hand, is getting siege mode with siege tanks as well, just a little bit later. But, I mean, if he already has them sieged when MarineKing's coming in, it's going to be fine. Even though he has, probably 2 less siege tanks when the battle takes place.
Yeah.
If it's like 4 against 2 or 5 against 3 or something like that, and TaeJa actually has a similar count of Marines and is in a defensive posture, MarineKing is going to be very hard-pressed to actually break it.
You're right. And MarineKing actually, right now, is behind 9 Marines. So that's one thing he's really going to be banking on with this push. But he's powered up so much more Marine production that very soon he will be very ahead in Marine count. And that is what he needs. That's what he needs to win this push, because that's the only advantage he's going to have over TaeJa. And he needs to be able to use those Marines to split, avoid the siege tank fire, and just have that pure amount of DPS.
Well, right now we do have in a second factory coming up for TaeJa. So it's 4 tanks to 2. So yeah, he's up 2 tanks as predicted. But with that second factory, TaeJa's going to become even more powerful. And MarineKing is actually, I mean, he's not going to be able to end this unless TaeJa screws up. So, the best I think he can do with this build he's done is maybe get some position. Maybe
a soft contain or something like that.
A soft contain into a quick third base.
Yeah, he needs a third base. I think that's the best way to get out of this. He's going to continue to push here. He's coming from the side, but TaeJa sees him, sieges up first.
And there you go.
Doesn't even stim.
Yeah, he's in a very good spot. I like that you mentioned he did not even stim. He's saving that energy in his medevacs. No point for him to stim right now. And did I just hear a medevac load up?
Yeah, we did.
Okay, TaeJa's medevac loaded up.
And MarineKing's going to have to go home here. He needs a backup plan. Both players are actually making double Vikings right now. I mean, we saw different paths to the end, but basically these 2 players now have created a composition that are almost identical. MarineKing with a slightly better siege tank count, TaeJa with a slightly better Marine count.
Yeah, but don't forget TaeJa did get that second factory very quickly.
Yeah,
and MarineKing didn't.
Yeah, he's got the armory up already, so he's getting +2 faster as well. And I cannot stress enough that when both players are going some variation of Marine tank, how important those bio upgrades are.
Oh, definitely. I mean, the Marines are going to end up engaging time and time again. Also, the siege tank count, another thing very important. The overall number of Marines not as important unless it's like huge differences. So, again, I like TaeJa's spot. I'm sure, This has to be a hard match for a lot of fans from TeamLiquid.net because Liquid TaeJa and MarineKing, who do you root for here?
It's tough to call.
Oh, TaeJa has to be careful here. He does want to run into those siege tanks. Some nice volleys there by MarineKing.
Yeah, MarineKing getting some really nice hits there.
And notice his supply does go up with that. And TaeJa could be in trouble here. Got to be very, very careful.
Yeah, very diligent with his siege ups here. The key is that MarineKing has this Viking control right now that's really helping him out. Oh, losing some Vikings, though.
Picking off any medevacs, though, always useful, because then those Marines are going to have a hard time to stem up more.
TaeJa is taking the top left command center right now. I really like that, because he's kind of got this pressure on MarineKing that's going to make MarineKing very distracted about anything like that.
Oh, and TaeJa almost just moved forward there. A lot of posturing going on in the center of the map right now. Now, one thing I do want to point out is that MarineKing has 8 medevacs against 3 of TaeJa, and the siege tank count and Marine counts are basically the same. So that is a big, big deal that he can heal up so much better than TaeJa can right now.
A little bit of harassment, meanwhile, by TaeJa, shutting down the SCV, building the 3rd command center of MarineKing. Now he's going to come in and take out some SCVs at the natural, and during all of this, he's getting himself into a really nice position at MarineKing's 3rd. I like how he's done this. He forces the cancel. Great 1 medevac drop there, just changing the entire playing field.
Very well done. He has to make a beeline home right now, even scanning the path that MarineKing might be coming on, but MarineKing stemming and running past, so this could turn into a base trade scenario.
And that's exactly what we're going to have. TaeJa decides not to go home, charges into the natural.
Uh-oh, MarineKing's going to be in trouble, though.
Yeah, because TaeJa's set up at home, and the MarineKing is not.
And in fact, MarineKing turns around. This is great for TaeJa.
This is
He's going to take out this
great.
expansion for sure. He is sieging up. MarineKing's going to be hard-pressed to actually kill this.
We are seeing MarineKing, I think, just very jet-lagged, very nervous today. Not playing his usual best. He will clean up TaeJa's army, but he's lost so much in the process. In fact, he may not even clean it up.
No, in fact, he will not. And TaeJa has basically just won this game, Wolf. Yeah. Oh my God, MarineKing with some huge mistakes. TaeJa playing just perfectly.
Yeah, TaeJa doing that 1 drop, distracting MarineKing, getting the perfect position on the 3rd. Then MarineKing didn't know what to do, and, you know, very unlike MarineKing, didn't react the best way in a base trade scenario.
Well, here we go. This is going to just be the cleanup.
Yeah, this is going to clinch it for him. He's cleaned up the last SCVs now. Even the medevacs have nowhere to run at this point. Basically, the medevacs are all MarineKing has left. GG! TaeJa advances to the next round of Codas.
Team Liquid with 2 players in the round of 8 of Codas. They both have seeds into the next Codas as well. MarineKing, unfortunately, drops down to Code A.
Yep. And
wow, I got sick chills, Wolf. We just, on the preview screen, we jumped back real quick as soon as it started, because what you have to do is siege up a bunch of tanks on your high ground during base trades on dual site. That's how it works.
Yeah.
TaeJa siege up 3, had a bunch of Marines, was
and
ready
MarineKing
for it.
scanned it, and he was like,
yep.
Damn.
He's like, oh, I guess I have to turn around, but then it's like,
it was too late.
TaeJa's already in position.
TaeJa had better upgrades as well. He had the better concave.
Perfectly done by TaeJa. Just that was a stellar TVT for dual sight by him. MarineKing making just a few small mistakes and TaeJa capitalizing upon them. MarineKing just distraught. He wants a GSL. He has 2 MLGs, but the GSL continues to elude him.
Yeah, it's just always a little bit out of his reach. With our new format of Code A, though, we could, and very likely we'll be right back in Code S.
Let's just be realistic. MarineKing's in Code S next season.
Just point that out there, because I think a lot of people don't, have forgotten the format has changed and things like that. Just because he's in Code A doesn't mean he has to wait another season to get back into Code S. He will be back in very likely at the end of this.
He's in round 3, so that means
he only has to win
2 matches.
Yeah, 2 matches to get straight in. 1 match to get into up and downs.
Yeah, which he's MarineKing. Come on, he'll do it. Don't worry. He'll be rested and he'll own up.
Yeah, this was not, very stereotypical MarineKing play today.
Yeah, he was a bit off. He was a bit off, but TaeJa actually played really, really well. You have to give it to him. I mean, especially that dual site game, the Entombed one a little bit less. That was more like watching, MarineKing just play really bad. But on dual site, there wasn't a flaw in TaeJa's play. He actually played it just perfectly. And he was doing a lot of things that never even came into play, like taking that 3rd, the way he was pressuring, and then also sneaking a 3rd. That's very tricky. When someone's attacking you like that, and you're on your side of the map, and he's attacking up there, why would he expand up there? You don't think that during the game.
You don't think about that, and MarineKing's very distracted. The drop, though, was like something that MarineKing never overreacts to, never pulls all of his units back for a 1/2 medevac drop. Half of it was dropped on his 3rd bay, half at his natural. He pulled everything back for that, a huge overreaction, and I think it's just his tiredness showing through here.
Yeah. Well, let's take a look at the results. Parting in first place, 2-0. TaeJa in second, 2-1. 1-2 MarineKing, unfortunately, down to round 3. And OGS, the STC, also going down to round 3. Kind of a shame.
I mean, he was so close to getting through, and, it's a lot of tiredness there. Harding, though, was definitely the dominant player.
He was a
this group.
badass, dude. All right,
Absolutely.
let's take a look at these brackets.
Yeah,
Naniwa versus
Naniwa
MVP.
versus MVP. Everyone's been talking about that.
Yeah, Harding against somebody, TaeJa against somebody, and Supernova against Hero. Looks like we're going to have
Supernova
probably a
Hero
lot of
should be sick.
TVPs here, Wolf.
Yeah, we will indeed, because especially there are no Zergs left in the GSL right now, so there won't be any Zergs around. And here is our next match. It's going to be MC, Maru, Oz, and Squirtle.
That is such a tough group. 3 of the world's best Protosses against the youngest player in Codes history.
And not only is he the youngest, but one of the strongest we've ever seen. A ton of potential in this young player.
Yeah, people call him the Marine Prince, a little version of MarineKing. Can't wait to see how that goes. You think he can get out of that group? It's a hard one.
I think he can,
If
but
he
will
beats MC, I think he can do it. But if he loses that first match to MC, I think
He
that's
won't, because
too
Oz
big a hill to climb.
Oz is too strong, Squirtle's too unpredictable.
That's a good
my
way to
opinion.
put it. Look
Yeah.
at you. Smart guy. Wolf, it has been a pleasure today.
Yeah, it has been so awesome casting with you. I hope we get to do it again sometime soon
Sure.
in the future, because it's
We just
been
got to
great.
keep Tasteless sick. That's all.
That's all I got to do, man. I guess I got to start, I don't know.
What we got to do is when he's sick, we should go visit him in his house while he's asleep with his fever, and then just take change out of our pocket and put it in his mouth, because that's like the dirtiest thing in the whole world is change. Put money in someone's mouth if you
I
want
wasn't
to be
sure where
sick.
you were going to go with that. I thought you were going to say we should just be really friendly and nice to him, but he's trying to sleep so he won't get better as fast. But it doesn't look like we're trying to do that, because we're just being friendly and nice and talking to him, having a good conversation. He's like, guys, I think I just need to sleep. We're like, no, come on, man. Like, let's hang out. It's been a while. Because it has been a while. I haven't been back in Korea, and today's actually my first day seeing you since I've been back. Got to cast with you. It was such a pleasure.
It was, Wolf. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching. That's it. We'll see you tomorrow on GSL Code S.